In this video, we are talking with Ecco Flips. Cody, we had a ton of live streams in the past. We are back. We are going to talk about the state of online arbitrage in 2023. Is it dead? Is it saturated? Is it still good? So super happy to just be on and talk to Cody again, because we live streamed a ton in the past, and good to just catch up. But yeah, Cody, how are you doing today?
We're back and we're better.
Honestly, probably.
Yeah. So is Amazon saturated? Seth, no money to be made out here. Let's be honest. No money to be made. Everything's saturated, right? Everything's saturated. You know, Amazon with their, what is it? Like, I'm just throwing out numbers. 500 billion in revenue. Like, there's no money to be made out here, right? You can't get 1/100,000th of a pie, right?
The fees are too high.
The fees crushed it. It's over.
We're just
joking. We're hard joking. Just messing around.
But like, on the serious side, like, I remember last year I got a counterfeit claim and I lost $2,300 of inventory. Just like, gone. That's business.
It happens. But I bet you made really good money.
Yeah, overall.
Exactly.
This year has been so much better than last year, and last year was already like quite good, so I'm like happy with it.
That's awesome.
And Cody, you did like a 90K month recently, didn't you?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, we've just been slowly, gradually scaling. I'm trying to focus on just straight profiting. I've had months before where it was like I made a post about it on Instagram before, where it was towards the end of last year where it was like an 80K revenue month, but our profit was only around like 5 or 6 or 7, like somewhere around there. And I mean, that's pretty bad, like margin wise, I would think. I mean, if you just double that, I mean, that's still pretty good, but I've just been focusing more on profitability. So like this last month before the returns, and we kind of talked about that a little bit before we start on the live stream. Like right now on my P&L, it says that I'm around like 11 or 12 profit for last month. But after all the returns and everything settle, it might go down to 10, right? So that's just something that a lot of people don't talk about. Like you go into Inventory Lab, you see your P&L and you're like, oh man, it's amazing. Check back a month later and you'll see a little bit of a difference in there for sure.
Yeah, that's something that like you see people like post like freaking like June 1st, like in the morning about their P&L. And like, I get it. It's cool to like recap the month. Like I try to wait like 7 days, but like even the 7 days isn't enough because like stuff happens. Like, I mean, people return stuff, like, and depending on your category, like returns can be like several $1,000 difference in your P&L.
Exactly. Especially if you're doing apparel. I see some big guys out there. They're flexing the numbers, right? They're putting the money on the Amex, right? And they're doing apparel and they don't realize how much money they're losing. Like I really love to give this example. I was selling some underwear that was men's underwear. For whatever reason, the customers thought it was boys' underwear. And on Seller Amp, I was getting it for a crazy low price too. It said I was making 123% ROI, but after all the returns, I made a 5% ROI. So that's one good thing to look at is look at the ASIN profitability and Inventory Lab.
Yeah.
Because that's huge, right? You think you're making all this money, you look at the numbers and you're like, man, like this is not like that's not good. So you cut out those products, obviously, and then sell the products that are making you really good money. But I just like to put that out there because you might see, compare yourself to other people, things like that. And you never really know what's going on behind the scenes, right? So just want to put that out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was smirking before when we were talking about apparel, and like, I feel like you can definitely hate on the apparel returns and everything. But like last year for me, I was selling used products to Prep Center, like without testing them. And I think I had a month where my return rate was 40%. It was just like jokes. Like literally I have had months, kind of like you were saying, I actually had 1 month. I think I did like 70K. I think I lost $3,000. Like, it was just like, how does that even happen? But yeah. So the good, the bad, and the ugly of
yeah, really but
like,
is it worth it, Seth? That's what the topic is. Is it worth it?
yeah, I mean, so it's just like that at that point it's a problem of like, oh yeah, well, like I was sending in stuff that like didn't have cords as used acceptable. And like some customers thought they were getting new products and they get this like docking station unit without a cord that had like scratches on it. And I'm like, well, like it was 100% ROI. Like I'll sell it for cheaper. And no, like it was a problem. We got a bunch of people in the chat here. We got Christiana, who is hanging out right here as we speak. We got RW. I'm very curious about you sold your Amazon business, so now you're looking for something to do. I don't know if that's a joke or if it's for real. But like,
if you cashed out, that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, sweet.
Let's go.
I'm curious, RW. What do you mean? But,
yeah,
like, how did that go?
I feel like he's joking, but I
Yeah.
don't know. You never know, right?
I kind of have no clue. We got Joji in the house. What is up, fellas? Smash the like button. Appreciate you, Joji. Joji's been crushing it with the social media lately. I looked at his channel and I'm like, he has some good videos up. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's been getting the good collabs.
Yeah, I mean, those are key, honestly.
He's got that. I feel like Joji's got that omnipresence. I don't know if you read like Grant Cardone's book, but he's like omnipresence. Like he talks about that.
No, I don't know.
I really like that. It's basically like anywhere where somebody looks. He talks about like you have to have omnipresence. Anywhere where somebody looks, you're at. That's what it is.
His content is everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. His content's everywhere. It's like, say you go on YouTube, you see Joji. You go on Instagram, you see Joji. Right? You go in the comment section, Joji's there. I'm not trying to make it weird. I'm just saying.
No, it's the
omnipresence.
He's
right?
doing
It's important.
And he also hit 100K in the year already, whereas last year it took like the whole year.
Yeah,
part time as a teacher, which is cool.
Kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, and the people doing flashy numbers is like Joji has like fat margins, but like his revenue numbers aren't like you look at the revenue numbers and you compare it to somebody else that's doing other types of OA, and you'd be like, wow, like he's not doing that much, but like he's profiting a lot more than so many other people. But he has like a fifth of the revenue number. So I think that's a crazy thing with booksellers is like their profit is fat, while some of the OA sellers, like their profit is not as good. And I feel like it's really important with the booksellers. It's like you spend this money, you can literally just double it with books. While with OA, you're working off of say a 10% profit margin. Like you have to spend thousands of dollars, right? Tens of thousands of dollars just to make the same margins that Joji's making with even less, less buying, right?
Yeah. Like for me, like if I could do, let's say like 10K profit is the goal. Like if I could do 10K profit with 50K in sales versus with 100K in sales, like I would take basically the least that I can risk, the better. Like, I mean, you can do it however you want to do it, but like, I mean, you could do 300K a month, and if you're still making 10K profit and like you can be under control of that, like that's great.
Yeah.
But curious about this. So RW says, yeah, I was approached by a main competitor and they offered me a great price for all my inventory and what was at Amazon, but I cannot sell coffee machines for a year or any items that I was selling. So did they buy your Amazon account or
They cashed them out. I wonder if they just bought your inventory or bought the Amazon account.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's wow. Sweet. So
yeah, I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to know more details.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, I would like if they gave you any kind of a multiple, but you had to like not sell the same types of products, I would consider taking that. Maybe.
just sell it, and then you make another one a year later, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Oh yes,
maybe.
the Amazon account. He said.
Oh, okay.
So
can you get another one?
yeah, interesting.
I guess you sold your LLC, right? To
yeah,
them.
and he has
you don't have to
full-time
tell
job
us.
as well. So like, I don't know. He has a full-time job, so it's like, well, he's good and fine.
Yeah.
Was it the main competitor for the coffee makers or for the grocery, or both? Because that would be not too many people I know sell grocery and coffee makers, but
I would RW, if you'd like to share, I'd really like to know if like you sold like one. Okay. He says yes, after a year I can start again and I still have the same LLC.
oh, coffee makers.
Interesting.
Dang.
So you just sold the inventory in the Amazon account, but you can,
and the quote unquote rights to sell coffee makers.
they probably did some type of profit loss analysis and they were like, you know what, let's just buy out this guy and we'll make more money.
Interesting.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, coffee makers, they're so high end. Like high ASP is just disgusting.
I could imagine your competitors might even do it for tax purposes. Like, I'm not a tax advisor and this is not tax advice, right? But like, I could imagine, say I made like 100K, or let's say somebody, big company made $1 million a year and they want to reduce their tax, right? They might want to buy somebody's business like RW just to reduce their taxes.
How does that make sense?
Basically they're just buying other assets to kind of reduce their like taxes. I'm not a tax professional. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about necessarily, but basically, like if I was kind of like what Josiah does with his business, right? He makes good money selling on Amazon. He buys a Turo car to kind of offset the profit of his Amazon business. I'm assuming, right? I don't know all of Josiah's ins and outs, but I'm assuming that's why he does it.
Joji's saying 25% margins, which, yeah, that's crazy. Like you've already made like solid money this year, which is great. You're part-time.
Rakin's here.
You got raking.
Renovated garage.
I put all my money into meme coins. Oh, JK. We got Alex Becker in the house. You guys know Alex Becker? Like half of his videos for the last year were like this meme coin going to the moon. Blah blah.
Do you know why that is, Seth?
I know so little about it, but
so everybody does it for different reasons, but the affiliate marketing commission on the cryptos was insane. So I'd imagine he was just I don't know exact situation.
His YouTube channel.
Yeah, it was basically, oh, everybody buy this coin, and he was making tons of money off of it. I'm sure that's what he was doing. That's what a lot of people were doing.
And projects are down like crazy. So like it kind of tempts me to be like, yeah, maybe let's put another 1,000 in or another 2,000 or something. But no, like Amazon, man.
It seemed like gambling. I don't know anything about crypto, but it seemed like I know people that were up during like after.
Yeah, but half of them didn't sell.
Yeah, exactly. And I know people that are down.
We have friends that put 50K into it before the spike. It went up to 500K. They didn't sell. They have 50K again.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, well, probably should have sold, but I mean, I probably would have done the same thing.
They put it on black.
What's that?
They put it on black. Like that's the rule. You know what I'm saying?
Put it on black? What do you mean?
Like a roulette wheel, like they just put it on black.
And just want to gamble forever. We got Rake and Profit. How's your guys' business going? What are 2-3 things interesting going on right now worth sharing? Go, do you want to start out? I'll go.
Just trying to buy more and sell more. That's some interesting stuff that's going on. I'm debating whether or not I should start using ScoutX, which is like a SellerAmp clone. Or you could say SellerAmp's a clone of ScoutX, I guess. I don't know. However you want to put that. It's basically just like another version. It's really similar to SellerAmp. That's all I gotta say. And it's free. So I need to do more extensive testing with that, because if I can show other people like, hey, you can get into Amazon with an even lower barrier, like I would want to do that, because the 15 a month, $17 a month, it's not that much money, but like I really relate to the people where it's like, oh, I have literally nothing, so I can save them some money. That's what I'm seeing if it's actually viable. So that's one thing that I'm doing that I feel like's interesting.
What's kind of like tick the needle forward with like finding better profitable stuff to buy and sell for you recently?
So I feel like a lot of it was just, we've been putting the reps for a year and a half now, just finding products. So there's a lot of backlogged of products that I'm looking at in the past. And also, I'm growing a VA team with my friend, or I guess you could say business partner too, right? And right now we only have one VA and we're just trying to teach more people, but really to find more products, it's just getting that lead flow better, making sure that every single day you get more leads in. So whether that's through network, having a VA, having like keep alerts set, whatever it is, having a lead database of documenting all your leads. Those are kind of the things that really helped me find more products. A little tangent, but
yeah, Steve is saying, what's tempting you to swap just the free? Yeah, so you're basically saying like you're just wanting it so that like beginners who are coming in, like there's a lower barrier to entry so they could actually get started.
yeah, Scout X is a product that Inventory Lab made, and for my business right now, I'm pretty much locked in. I have to have Inventory Lab, and it's a free tool that you get if you're paying for Inventory Lab. So what I'm saying is, it's not necessarily like I want to save 15 or 20 bucks a month, but if somebody wants to get into online arbitrage, right, I wouldn't want them paying for software that they don't need to pay for if it's the exact same value. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And so I guess that's how they do that, because Inventory Lab made it and it's part of the subscription.
Yeah.
And they increased the price recently too. So yeah.
Yeah. I know the influencers love the juicy seller commission or whatever, right? The affiliate thing. But I mean, if ScoutX is good, like I'll start using ScoutX every single day and show people like, hey, you can just have Inventory Lab, ScoutX, and Keepa. I feel like there's no reason to promote a software that's not. You see what I mean? If you get another one that's,
because you really should have Inventory Lab, and so you could get the
yeah,
analyzing seller amp type tool, ScoutX.
Exactly, and then you just need Keepa and you're set. That's like what is that, $90 a month, and you can make an insane business, right?
Yeah.
Selling on Amazon.
RW is saying maybe I'll merch by Amazon or buy some killer domain names to flip. I've been thinking about the last couple of years. I've considered doing domain name flipping, but I never got into it. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess for me, let's see. I've been really intentional about teaching Roseanne to buy stuff, my virtual assistant. So she's literally buying like half of what I'm purchasing. And I've also increased like what we're sending in. And we've increased the ROI by like a lot as well. So like things are just going really, really smoothly the last several months. So I'm really enjoying it. The revenue, it's kind of crazy because it's been between 45 and 60 for a while, but like the profit margins have been like really solid. Like I was doing like 60 to 100K last year, and I'm probably making more profit off of the lower, like definitely making more profit than last year. So that's just been really helpful and like really cool. I don't know how else to say it, but like it's just increase the ROI. Roseanne's buying more, less risk, great all around.
Seth, I know, I'm still scared of it. I don't have a VA that buys stuff. How do you feel about getting, like, do you give them an employee card? Like, do you just give them like what do you do? Like what does that whole process entail? Because like I've never hired a buyer before.
Yeah, so what I do is I write out my social security number, my bank information, and I just email it to her. And I say, hey, please, can you take
That's a joke
years?
for the people.
No, so basically to answer the question, I buy only off eBay. And so if you have your card info saved in eBay, they can just click the card and they literally just see the last four numbers. They don't have to enter CVC.
Gotcha.
So they just have the eBay login. She uses a VPN, and like it's basically that simple.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, CC is hidden. Yep. Rakin
Yeah.
knows this. He's been doing this longer than me. He inspired me to do this in the first place. So
Yeah, I feel like it would be hard for me trying to do it on some OA sites, you know. I think I'd have to use employee cards.
yeah, but like you can do that though.
Yeah, and just set a limit.
Yeah. And maybe like at the start, you just give them like
$100, spend this.
yeah. I mean, like at the very start, like at the start, I was like, okay, like she was giving me leads that I just go through and be like, yeah, I want this. Yeah, I want this. No, I don't want this. And I would just say, all right, Roseanne, like, what is your top pick that if you were buying, like, what would you select? And so we did that for like a couple weeks just to like see if her like intuition was right, that I agree. And then we moved up to 2 and 3, and then I'd have her buy one of the products and say like $100 limit, and then we'd move it up to $200, et cetera, and just move like that. Yep. We got a couple of things in the chat here. What is your ASP, checkmate? I might check in a second. I don't even know what my ASP is, but I'll check while we look at some other stuff. But T-Smoke is saying, do you need to pay for subscriptions for your VA? Like keep a seller amp. I have her use all the same logins.
Yeah.
Steve, what about you?
I think on Keepa you can have 3 separate devices, if I'm not
Oh,
wrong.
you can?
You can have your phone, you can have your computer, and then you could have like a VA login into there. So you can have 3 separate. And then for Seller Amp, I think you can have up to 3 or 4. I might be wrong about that one, but we've had 2 VAs in the past use one Seller Amp, and then we were using it ourselves, obviously. So you can have at least 3 on Seller Amp.
Yeah, so I guess we're at our 3. Because I met Canton Resale in Puerto Rico. And so like he and his girlfriend do Amazon. And I was like, that'd be fun if Christian and I did some. So we installed Keep on our computer, and we were looking at Keepa graphs last night. Or not last night, it was 2 nights ago. But yeah, so we have 3 people using it. But the ASP, Steve, get my calculator out. Get my like what is the Chinese thing called? Like the abacus?
Oh, I know what you're talking about, the little
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what that's called, but yeah, I
yeah.
That's funny.
So my ASP is 96 right now. So it lowered since last year.
I think I'm a lot lower than that.
You're a lot lower.
Last time I checked, I was at like 55.
You're like 55.
Yeah.
I think Steve, yours is like 40 to 60 or so. Yeah, yours is around 55, Cody.
To judge you with the $77
$77.
Dude, we love
my ASP. I need to find like more like $800 products and just like FBA them and like not even care. I've FBA'd $1,000 item several times before.
You're not a little bit worried about that return, Seth? You just wanna
works out.
That's it? Does it? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like anything else though. I think it's the same ratio.
Interesting. I've MF $1,000+ products before, but I just imagine, and I have no problem, but like I could imagine the return on that. FBA, they could just return you back whatever. and you can't even do anything about it. I mean, you can try to file a reimbursement request, but Amazon's not very generous with their refunds with that.
Yeah, but I guess when I think about it, like it's the same risk. It's just like maybe the customer wants to do it more with a more expensive product. But like, honestly, if I was out like trying to scam people by like replacing refunds, I'd do it with like $100 items and just be like under the radar. Nobody gives a care because it's $100 item.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess if it's more of like say like an iPhone, maybe.
Yeah.
But if it's like some weird, obscure, used eBay item, they're probably not gonna try to pull a fast one on you.
I guess it's kind of a weird one to do that because like, yeah, I guess if I were to do that, like if I was putting on my thieving outfit and trying to get 99 thieving in real life, I would do it with something that sells really quickly.
And then you would go directly to the Grand Exchange.
And I just dump it. Yep. Insta-sell. Anyways, enough talk about scamming people. We got RW. Have a great day, everyone. Got to run. Got to play some golf and have a few beers. Retired RW.
Dude,
Nicaragua next.
RW is living the life right now.
Living the life. We got Joji. Oh yeah, same. Credit card is hidden. Use a business credit card. Yeah. So Joji, you have your virtual assistant buying for you as well. But yeah, in my experience, it's just easy if it's just one site, you know.
Yeah.
Like she's set up to buy on Poshmark, but we don't buy on Poshmark too much. Poshmark is like if you want to go and be there's just a lot of people listing stuff that like they don't know anything about, and that's a good situation for arbitrage sometimes.
They're casuals.
They're very casual clothing sellers. Not all of them. That's kind of a, I just remember like back in 2019 and 2020, I sold clothes. And so like I kind of had a feel for what Poshmark sellers were like. And it was like they just sold a ton of clothes. Like,
oh, are you doing new clothes from Poshmark to Amazon?
No, but like Poshmark, it has like an electronics. You can list electronics on Poshmark.
I see.
But like eBay just has so much more. So it's like you'll search like a brand and like a model number, and it'll just like, you just get really bad search results because there's so few items on there. But then sometimes it's really good.
Kind of getting to Raken's question, one thing that you know, kind of new change that I'm working on. One thing that I noticed with specifically eBay to Amazon is I'm getting more into the let's just buy them out. Like, you know, more the item, no more of that item's going to come to market. There was one particular item I cleared out the stock on eBay, spent like $2-3 grand, and I was like, let's go to OfferUp. Bought all of OfferUp out, bought all of Macari out. Like we just, if you want to get that, like you got to come through me.
Come to me.
Yeah. And that worked. I feel like that kind of gets to the, I know nothing about stocks, but like you have the big stock whales that buy and sell, right? And I feel like it's sort of the same, but in a different, like more niche market. And I feel like there's a huge opportunity there. Yeah, you might have to sell on the stock, but then you can command your own price.
Yeah, and it's like you have to make sure that it's an in-demand item, and that there's of it.
Yeah, you have to definitely know that it already sells, and you have to have some data. But I mean, if you got the money and you want to wait, not even like
you don't even need to wait. This stuff just like flies sometimes. We should talk more about it on your stream because we're at 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Head over to Cody's stream. Cody's stream is Ecco Flips. If you guys don't know him, I'm just going to put it up on the screen. But we're going to be on his channel. We got the other Cody in the house.
Cody, let's go. Let's go.
All right. We're going to head over to his stream. We'll be there in like 2 minutes. Have a good one, guys, and take care.